I guarantee you this is legit. I know I haven't been on streaming very often lately. It's because I've been dealing with so much crap lately. I'm kind of using this as a little bit of a side journal right now, only because I'm in a position where certain certain events have recently happened, of which being the fact that I recently had my Facebook account hacked, and this is my biggest, most needed care from you guys. I know I don't have very many followers at the moment, but I would encourage you share this video with like all your family, friends, neighbors, you name it. I'm mentally crying at the moment because of the deal that I had to deal with, namely from yesterday. I had my Facebook hacked yesterday over some stupid code, but I'm not saying that I was being dumb. I just was being absent-minded at the time. As of now, Facebook accounts are being hacked like none other. And I would encourage highly of you people to just let your family know, your friends know, your neighbors know to stay away from Facebook for a little while. Matter in fact, I understand Facebook is like the biggest and most popular communication platform in the entire world itself. But with what's been going on, and I'm not the only one that's been hacked. I've had friends text me like through my number, of which I'm not gonna give names because it's a variety of list of friends that I've had who had their Facebook account hacked. So I would even encourage you to just share this video to your family, friends, neighbors, you name it. Just even if it's someone you don't know, share it to them. I'm also needing to edit a few things. I know I'm doing a little bit different here, but I just need to update one thing. Alright, gonna go there, save changes. I need my banners. Go to my banners. Happy New Year. Anyways, but yeah, sorry, I was just trying to get this all set up as well. I will tell you right now, I feel sorry for those that get their account hacked. For those that are family that is seeing this, please, pretty please, on my own life, I ask thee to seriously consider sharing this video with everyone else in the family, including your extended ones. Why not? I figured may as well put this out here and plead by a lot to get it out of the way. Now, there's going to be a little bit of background noise. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but if you do, I do apologize. Sorry, I'm just trying to hear it to like the crowd to see what's going on. Thank heavens. Sorry, I'm also avoiding little kids right now. I'm not saying kids are bad, it's just it tends to give me anxiety especially with being like, I feel like I tend to be in the way of the kids. And I feel like I'm going to be continually in the way of them and cause them to be getting hurt. And I'm not trying to badmouth the family, like any of my family, but I'm just trying to avoid one particular family member because they like to, or like he likes to argue with the family and not give us reason to argue. Excuse me, I got my niece coming into my room who doesn't know how to keep out. My apologies on that. With it being New Year's and having the neighbors around, it's gonna get hectic at times, which that was one of them, especially with our neighbors having also kids under the age of 10. I'll tell you right now, little kids these days, they are, I'm not saying stressful, but they do tend to be like a handful, especially with how wound up they tend to get. One moment. Alright, sorry about that. I was just responding to a few messages from a few friends. I'm also just kind of like, I've been also going through some mental stages lately where I'd be depressed. I'd also be anxious. Like, those levels would just be through the roof. My biggest deal right now with my depression and anxiety is just not having a decent paying job. However, I'm not saying that the job itself is horrible. It's more of the pay itself. Now, right now, I'm in the process of finding a decent job that gives me a full 8-hour shift, Monday through Fridays, with an occasional Saturday. I will say though, the job I'm currently working with right now is a decent job. Pays meh. I'm not gonna give the name because one, I also like the employer. I also think that everyone in the business that I am working with has been treating me fair, and I love it. I just think people will need to start working on training a little bit better. My previous job was also pretty good. Pay was pretty great that I love, and I loved it because it was 15 an hour. Though I'm not pleased with one particular department, though. Um, though if you if you're listening in on this and you're like, why are you saying this? I didn't want to say anything about this, but if you know what I'm talking about and you're like you've employed me within this year, with like recently, as of the beginning of this year, I want you guys to know you've treated me like I've had jobs in the past where it was utter disastrous and the pay was great, but I would be like, no, because management would stink. And then I've had jobs where management was awesome, the job was awesome, pay was meh. But the last job I had, I liked the position. I didn't care for the fact that there was upset customers. But the biggest problem on the reason why I am saying this is because there was a particular department that I wanted to wring people's necks in from. Though I understand a lot of companies will have a very large number of agents in the one department for customers. I will say though, I get it. Sure, I don't see the bigger picture, but I get a rough idea of to expect, which is why I'm saying, please, for the life of your employees, make sure you give the proper training before you actually like tell them that they need to do it. Um, the last job I had, which was seasonal, actually I was pleased with because they did training. Mind you, it was only a 3-day course of training, which was kind of terrifying to start with, but over a course of it being a seasonal position, I will say it was a great pleasure knowing that I worked with them. If you're in a position where it's a seasonal position, you might want to start finding a place, like another job, 2 months before the seasonal position comes to an end, because The sooner you start applying for jobs, the sooner you'll actually start getting jobs. I work for a pizza joint, of which I'm not going to say the name right off the bat, nor will I say the location of it. But I will say right now, it's a good pizza joint. I haven't had the pizza yet. However, I will say though, and you're probably thinking, can we get like something in the frame? You will at some point. Right now, my mind is just wanting to not be in the frame. I've been dealing with some personal stuff, like I said at the beginning of this live stream. Though I will say I have recently gotten updated with some new stuff from Christmas. Actually, now that I think about it, oh, Happy New Year's, by the way, everyone. I will actually say right now, let's see what's the hat I'm wearing. Okay, good. I will say though right now, one of the things that I actually got for Christmas from my second oldest brother, and I'm actually grateful to him, though I will say, growing up religious, I do ask those that are religious to pray for my second oldest brother's son because he's currently in the hospital. And we've just been dealing with nothing but like just hard times. So any prayers and anything that you guys are willing to do, it would be phenomenal if we could get as much help as possible. I will say though, just the amount of support that I've gotten from you guys already has been the best. Sorry, I'm just trying to message a friend of mine. I will say right now, I am honestly grateful for StreamYard. As you can clearly tell, right there. Sorry, the camera's backwards and it's been a while since I've used StreamYard. As you can tell right here, sorry, I gotta go right here. Again, it's backwards, so it's gonna be a little confusing for me at first. Now, I am grateful to StreamYard though, because without it, I wouldn't be able to do live streaming. In the past, you've seen me do live streams in a bit like more of a better position where like I'd be doing it from my laptop, well, or my tablet, but that was back when I was living in a certain town before moving down to go to college, or supposedly a college. I will say right now, I kind of do miss having a computer. I will say I am looking at getting a new computer because the last computer I had, it ended up dying on me. But putting that aside, I ended up getting a thing called a comfy. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's basically where it's a blanket type with a hood. And originally I got this from, or the idea of this from a family I follow on YouTube. I'll even like I'll even like put their channel down in the link below. I'm actually gonna put that probably I can't because I don't want to leave the live stream right now. There is connection that is when I was at a particular school. I will say it does come like it is a bit spotty at times, but I will say right now it's only currently spotty because there's so many devices on the Wi-Fi. Also, sorry about the delay on like some things. I'm just all over the place mentally at the moment. We have 2 hours left. Just like no, 2 hours and roughly 10 minutes from with where I'm at till New Year's. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure something out. I will say right now, Snapchat's been a bit spotty itself lately. I'm saying this because it would unfriend a lot of my friends that I would chat with. And I've had people tell me, hey, look, you keep unfriending me and then adding me back, and it's not acceptable. I guarantee you, with Snapchat for me, it's not me, it's Snapchat. Though that's just my end of Snapchat, though. I will say right now, if there's any, and I'm actually encouraging you guys comment down below. And I'm actually looking into doing this, starting with my first paycheck. And yes, this is legit going to be one of those instances where I'm looking into doing so. I'm looking into investing in getting a camera alongside with having to start vlogging a little bit more. And I'm actually looking into doing a little bit of like daily vlogging like throughout each day. Sure, I'm not going to be perfect at it to start with, but I will say right now, I just want it to become a part of my life and just like journal it along the way with YouTube and whatnot, so that way you guys can get ideas of content stuff. Matter of fact, I'm looking into doing like a week's worth of video footage and seeing how I like it alongside with the viewing. Moment, I've got to, as I give myself or almost give myself a heart attack. I am legit like my mind's like all over the place right now because I'm trying to remember if I saved my link to my channel to my phone. Get rid of the banners deal. Private chat. I am actually in the process of brainstorming ideas of what I could do for live streams alongside with future content. I know I'm pretty boring for the most part with this live stream, but I do apologize on that. Yeah, I'm pretty boring right now just because I've got not much to talk about. Oh, speaking of ideas, I am not a huge Disney freak like most people are. However, I am open to the idea of like doing like a vlogging at like a lot of theme parks. If you guys want me to do so, go ahead and comment down below like places I could do. I'm also looking at doing like miniature golf, indoor and out. Um, I'm looking into doing stuff like that. Um, as you can tell, mm, sorry, I've got something on my tongue. I'm actually looking into possibly starting to utilize the camera I've got, which I actually have here. Of which the only problem I face right now, though, is the fact that my camera with the mic it came with, it used to have that little muffler thing that would cover this piece, but the little sleeve that sits on this, I don't know what happened to it, which I need to actually charge this because it needs to charge. But the camera itself is a good camera. I guarantee it. Though the quality on it might suck for a little while, but that's the least of my concern right now. I know you guys are probably going to be like, we want good pixel quality. No, great pixel quality instead of crappy kind. I can't promise it right off the bat though, because a good camera with really good like filming pixels is not going to be cheap. Starting next Sunday, I am going to start doing a little bit of a Q&A session live stream. I'm probably going to start with as a 15-minute Q&A alongside with a friend of mine. That is if he's up for it and if he's not working next Sunday. I say this because my friend and I got recently talking about doing this like as a podcast. Which reminds me, I need to talk with him and see about hanging sometime this week when I'm not working into the night. But a few things to keep in mind is, and I would encourage this to be one of those. Sorry, I'm like having to deal with air pockets for some odd reason. Anyways, I would highly encourage you comment down below or in the live chat if you're here in the live chat. Okay, sorry. I thought I was in the comment section, and apparently I'm not, and I wasn't, but I just texted a friend of mine just now who actually just made the comments that you guys see, the first 2 comments there. Oh yeah, so Matthew, if you don't mind, I actually do remember who you're talking about. I just can't think of her name. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Um, also, you'll have to show me the camera of what it looks like, because I don't even know what that camera, like, that camera thing or whatever it's called. Sorry, my mind is like totally like, I am struggling right now, as you can tell. Also, for some reason, the view count is showing as no one's viewing this, but I know I got maybe 1 or 2 people watching right now. But yeah, I know who you're talking about, Matthew. I just can't think of her name. Matthew, if you're watching this, do me a favor and take a snapshot of the camera you're talking about and send it to me. Because I'm not familiar with that series. Okay, Canon brand, I understand that like style. It's just it's more of the like build type, if that makes sense. In addition to that, also with StreamYard, I'm also going to start doing like virtual a virtual panel, if that makes sense. Like, but with the virtual panel, it won't happen until like a few years down the road, unless if it happens to be a thing sooner rather than later. But I don't see it happening now because I'm starting to pick up the live streams again. Also, Matthew, if you pay attention to the number of subscribers I've got currently, it's 40. It's only because I've had friends who did very little to no work, who I barely interact with these days, but which is fine. I'm not like opposed to it. Also, Matthew, if you follow her on YouTube, send me the link to her channel, because I will tell you right now, I'd be willing to subscribe to her channel. Don't send it through the chat, the comments though. I don't want her to get like overwhelmed with anything. I'm at this point getting to a point where I'm just trying to think of like topics to go off of. Huh. You know, now that I think about it, I wonder. Sorry, I'm just trying to process some stuff right now that I'm curious to know about with StreamYard, because I know they've got an app. I've tried using it once before and it didn't work well. but I wouldn't be opposed to trying to use it again. Yay or nay for the idea of a podcast, by the way? I've been trying to cast that as a poll. Oh, hey. I wonder. What's this? Sorry, I'm learning something here. What's that? Recommended? Huh. Ooh. Sorry, I'm like learning. I'm learning the new stuff with this whole deal. Sorry, I was just having to like play around with the settings here. I'm actually learning to the new layout with StreamYard at the moment. Speaking of Twitch, that's funny you actually send that to me. Reason why I say it, I find it funny that you actually send it to me because. Oh, wait. Was she blonde or brown haired when we were doing that film project? 'Cause I swear she was blonde when we did it. I swear she was blonde. No, you're not gonna fall over. Sorry. I've got a ton of water bottles in my car right now, like the plastic ones. Wait, no, she was brown haired. My apologies. Ah, you may have a point there, Matthew. But it seemed like she had like a dark, dirty blonde hair. I will say though, I do have friends who I've met over the years, especially the last 3 years. And Matthew, I'm actually including you in on this because I do consider you to be a friend with some additional things of which I'm not going to say. You already know through Snapchat. Anyways, but yeah, so those pair of shoes you saw me in, or that I was in, if you remember, Matthew, when we were doing that film project, I actually no longer have because they ended up starting to get a hole, like a bigger hole in them. And I was like, yeah, no. I will say though, I'm just trying to listen in on what's going on with the family because it went from being obnoxiously like cruel with each other because we got adults who do that alongside with kids who just tend to get obnoxious. which I hope the kids are asleep by now, though, because by the time the kids go to bed, they'll be cranky and just needing to sleep. I actually know this because that used to be me as a kid. Also, Matthew, for future reference, if you're open to the idea of a podcast, or at least me doing a podcast, I would encourage at least get yourself a tablet. Nothing smaller than a tablet for StreamYard, because if you do smaller than a tablet, it will not be compatible. Which reminds me, I need a. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to be ending the live stream here in the next little bit because with it getting pretty dang close to it being New Year's, I will need to make sure I can be in bed early enough to the point where I can at least be up early for work. Let's bet really on you. 7%. I'm surprised Yeah, I also got a new tablet, by the way. No, I'm not an Apple user, by the way. I'm more of an Android. Also, do you know what's going on with the film and whatnot by chance? Because I've yet to hear from what's his face. I've been trying to get him the I-9 and or whatever that tax form is, but he's yet to tell me on the address. Plug! I need a plug! But you know what I'm talking about, though, right? Setting that aside, I am gonna get the. I don't like my new tablet. Well, I like it, but not at the same time. Oh, that's right. Oh, Matthew, I have a task for you. Will you let what's his face know about my account so that way he can expect to get a friend request from me again with a new account? I would do it, but oh, Levi is the name. Ha! You should. It's funny you should say that because okay, it's funny you should say this, Matthew, because I've been meaning to do this for months. It's been hard to because I don't have a computer. I don't have a system to like utilize to create videos. However, I've been trying to find a like computer to do this with. So, moving that aside, and yes, that was the other thing I like about StreamYard is the fact that I can actually bring up like comments that people put in the comments, which I love. StreamYard. I'm sure it's going to sign me right in. Let's do the Gmail account. Sorry, I'm in the process of getting my other tablet signed in so that way I can actually get that going because I want to see how well it works with this tablet. Because it's a smaller tablet, but it doesn't have cracks in it. Let's enter Studio. You do have a valid point there. I'll give you that. Reason why I'm giving you credit with this statement is because, sorry, I'm trying to get my smaller thing to work. Reason why I'm saying this is because I've actually thought about doing a lot of vlogs, but the only problem is I get very like small amounts of time on like pre-recorded videos. All right, I'm entering studio here. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this all worked out. It just work. Yeah, as of now, the smaller tablet actually works just fine. It's got a delay with it. Okay, so at this point I will come to an end on the live stream. I am going to invite future stream watchers. Actually, maybe getting that. Well, okay. Before I end the stream, before I forget, I'm actually going to do something here real quick that I don't do often. And please mind a little bit of a mess here, because I've yet to find places for it. One of the things I got for Christmas was this lava lamp. Here's my other hand. So it's this lava lamp from, I think, my dad. I will tell you right now, this has been a really fun Christmas gift. The only problem with it is it tends to get pretty hot if I don't, yeah, so you don't excuse the mess. It does tend to get pretty hot. Now, one of the things that I also got myself was this mug. For those that don't know what this indicates, it's to a movie that I've grown up watching called A Christmas Story. And if you don't know what A Christmas Story is about, I would encourage you to go and watch it. I say this because it's a really fun old classic movie to watch around Christmas time. One of the other things that I've been eager to get that I do truly love are the calligraphy pens. Now, if you don't know what those are, take a feather pen, has like hold on. It's basically it's where you have that metal tip, and it's really fun to write with. What I like about this pen is you can change out the ink cartridge on it. You write with different colors, and it's really fun because you get to change it out as many times as you want, as long as you want. At this point, I will say Happy New Year's to you all. I'm going to hop off. Matthew, I will continue to snap you, though, just because I may need a friend to talk to. Again, I'm going to emphasize one other thing before I go that I've mentioned. If you're interested in joining in the Q&A next Sunday, I might do that earlier than that, but for now, set your heart on Sunday of next week, and then from there, we'll go from there at least. Other than that, Happy New Year's to you all.